Hello, everybody. Welcome to another appointment with Going Expat. This is Rossella, and today my guest is Domenico. Hi, Domenico.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Nice to talk to you again. We have already had the opportunity to talk and to chat a little bit about the Netherlands and Rotterdam on your YouTube channel, Trasferirsi in Irlanda. But today we are here to talk about Ireland, which is the country where you live.
That's right.
And I am very curious about how did you arrive there? What are you doing there? For how long have you been living in Ireland? So, without further hesitation, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks, Rosella. So I'm Domenico. I've been living in Ireland for 11 years. I have an agency called Trasferirsi in Irlanda, and I help mostly Italian-speaking clients to move to Ireland and to start and to find work here or just to study English. I've been doing this for about a year now. I've had my channel for about 2 years, Trasferirsi in Irlanda, and there are numerous videos on my channel as well on how to move here. There are many videos about how to get documents and how to find work. So that's what I do. Mhm.
Yeah, indeed. You have many videos on your YouTube account and also on your Instagram account where you really dive into what is needed to move to Ireland, but also you gives a lot of tips and info about life in Ireland as well. Anybody who is interested, I'm gonna leave the links in the description of the video so you can afterward reach out to Domenico. And if you are an Italian speaker, even better because that's basically the aim of your agency or your business. Um, Before going there, I'm curious to know why did you choose Ireland 11 years ago?
Well, many reasons really. I was a student in Italy. I studied economics, and after finishing my degree, I started my internship to become an accountant. Well, many reasons really. I was a student in Italy. I studied economics, and after finishing my degree, I started my internship to become an accountant. So for that reason, I thought about just moving abroad for a few months just to improve my English and to do an experience. And I chose Ireland because it was, let's say, it was cheaper than England because
Mhm.
the currency, I could use the same currency, which is euro, and it looked a bit more rural, which I really like because I don't like bigger cities like London, for example, or Manchester. I prefer smaller places like Dublin or Cork. So that's why I went for Ireland instead of England or Canada.
Okay, no, it definitely makes sense. I mean, one of the most important things that people have to bear in mind when moving abroad is that they had to find a place that match with their priorities. So if your priority was to be in an international environment but out of a big city like London, for example,
Mhm.
definitely Ireland is a good choice. I would say, and all the rest it totally makes sense to me as well.
Mhm.
I was smiling before because you just say, "Oh, I wanted to go abroad for an experience of a couple of months to improve
Mhm.
my English," and 11 years.
Yes, yeah. Long time.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a very common thing to hear. A lot of people moved abroad for a couple of months, but then they never went back.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
What is the reason why you will suggest to move to Ireland? So, as we said, with Trasferirsi in Irlanda, you help people moving to Ireland. Why it should be considered by someone who is moving abroad?
Many reasons really. So it depends on what you're looking for. For example, if you're looking to improve your English, Ireland is a very good destination. It's ideal, I think, because now Ireland is the only let's say English speaking country in Europe where English is the first language. Okay, because now the
Mm.
UK they exited after Brexit, so Ireland is the only country that is left at the moment. So if you look into improve your English, it's your best bet because it's the cheapest destination. And also, it's good if you're looking to improve, for example, to improve your career in IT or finance,
Mm.
because there are many multinational companies in Ireland. For example, Microsoft, Google, Meta, they're all here. And if you want to work for them and to get their names on your CV, that's a very good country to consider. And well, I'd say those are the main reasons for work. If you work in a
Yeah.
specific field like IT, finance, accountancy, and to improve your English.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely makes sense. And indeed, there are so many big companies having their offices there, or the main office headquarters, maybe
Yeah.
some of them too, which will definitely make people having an important step forward in their career. Indeed. What about social life? Do you like it? It's a nice place where to move and yeah, make friends.
Yeah, I think so. Like, so, what I find is, well, I think it's the same with many countries all over Europe and all over the world. When you move abroad, it's easier to make friends with other expats, than with natives. Okay, so with locals. Because locals tend to have their own friends, like for a long time, and so they go out with their friends, and sometimes the groups are kind of closed. It's hard to get
Mhm.
into that kind of group, and because they've known each other for many years. But it's very easy to make friends with expats. And there are many, for example, meetup groups. There is an app called Meetup, and
Yes.
that's very good because there are so many events. So, for
Mm.
example, if you like poetry, there is gonna be a meetup for poetry. If you like books, there's gonna be a meetup for books. So it's no, you can pick and choose what you like
That's
and make
nice.
friends that way.
I guess we discussed it in the previous video we have registered together. Irish people are known to be very kind. So
Yeah.
I kind of had this idea that you can easily become friends with Irish people, but maybe
Mhm.
just my idea based on the few times that I have visited Dublin and Cork.
Yes, that's right. Irish people are very friendly. They're very friendly. They're kind, and they will speak to you, no problem. And but I think that making friends,
Mm,
that's like a step further, which not everyone is willing to make,
yeah.
to take that step because like Irish people, they will go out with you, maybe have a beer, but they will keep the conversation neutral. Like they talk about the weather, talk about sport, but they won't share their problems with you unless you know them really well. So
Okay. Mm.
it takes some time to do that, and especially for them to invite you over to their home, that's
Mm.
a really important step for them. So it
Yeah, yeah, no,
will take
I see some
a long
similarities
time.
with the northern country, I guess.
Yeah. It would take a long
Um,
time for them to do that. But once they do that, they're friends for life. They're really good friends. But it takes some time for us, more, let's say, that we come from Mediterranean countries.
mhm.
That's a bit different. There, you make friends straight away. Like you meet someone, you
It's
really talk about
easier.
your
Yeah.
problems, you invite them over, you have food together.
Yeah.
Here, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, indeed, it is true. I mean, I also think about okay, if in Italy, for example, if there is a foreigner, a new person in the office, and you know that that person doesn't know anybody yet
Mhm.
because just arrived, you might invite them, like, oh, we're going to have a drink, come with us, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this next weekend.
Yeah.
Feel free to join. While
Mhm.
here, and probably in Ireland too, so it's more a northern thing we can say
Mhm.
it is you the one that has to ask. It's a bit more difficult that they invite you, not because they are cold or
Mhm.
because they don't want to be friendly. It's just a culture
Yeah.
stuff. So it just that. So it takes longer. But as you said, once you get a friend there, it's for life.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. I think that friendship is kind of, it's more valued. When you are
Mhm.
a friend, when they call you mate friends, that means you're really friends with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just a word that they use for
Hmm.
everybody, indeed. In 11 years, I guess you had so many nice stories, and I guess that you like to live there because otherwise you will not stay for so long. What is the thing that you, let's say, like the least, or that it is too difficult for you to get used to?
Well, it might be a bit of a cliche, but I don't really like the weather, especially the darkness, because it's really dark during the winter. So from let's say from now, October, the end of
Mhm.
October until March, it gets dark like very early, like at about 3, 4 p.m., and then in the morning, the sun rises very late. It's like 9:30, 9:30 a.m. Like it's so late. 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So late. So I find it hard to get used to that. I'm still not used
Yeah.
to it.
I can relate. It's the same. It's
Mhm.
the same here. Winter is very hard in the sense the day are so short. While summer, on the other hand, is
Mhm.
amazing because they are so long.
That's right. Another
Yeah.
another good thing about the summer here is that it is not that hot. Okay, so it is kind of an Italian spring, the
Mm.
temperature is like maximum 20 degrees, and it's never above 20, 25 maximum, but that would be like the maximum.
Yeah, good. And I am sure that that happened to you. I mean, I always, when I talk about funny or fun misunderstanding, fun situations that happen, I always recall the time I was in Spain and I speak Spanish, but as some people will guess, Spanish and Italian are similar. So sometimes you can get a little bit confused. So basically, I went to the shop and I was looking for the butter. But
Mhm.
instead of say butter, I say donkey because in Spanish the word donkey is burro.
Yeah,
And if you pronounce, you write it exactly like burro in Italian, which
yeah.
actually means
Hmm.
butter. So
Uh-huh.
in my perfect Spanish, I went there and I asked to the sales assistant, um, no encuentro el burro, ¿me puedes ayudar? I don't find the donkey. Can you help me? I was in a supermarket. He looked at me. He shocked first, then he started to laugh, and then I understood I was Italian. At that point, I realized, oops, mantequilla. So that's my fun story. Did you had any something that really you didn't realize it was creating a misunderstanding?
Yeah, sure. I can think of an example when I was in work. So it's a cultural thing more than a linguistic problem. So sometimes once I asked a colleague of mine if they would do something for me. Okay, so I was very busy. I was like, "Can you do this for me, please? Because I'm up to my eyes. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do this today. We need to deliver that tomorrow." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I will." And in Ireland, when they say, yeah, yeah, I will, you really need to be sure you are careful about their intonation. Because sometimes they, yeah, yeah, I will, it means they never will. They're basically saying the opposite. They're saying, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I will, because like in Ireland, well, I think in almost all the English-speaking countries, especially in Ireland, the UK, people they are afraid of confrontation. So they wouldn't
Mm.
say no to you, but they'll say yes in a way that they mean no. They're saying yes to you, but they mean no.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and then like the next day I had a problem because the work wasn't done, and yeah, that's it. So that was like yeah, a fun
Okay, so
story.
it's
Perhaps not so fun for me, but yeah.
no, but yeah, I guess that was yeah, an excess of politeness. So I cannot
Yes,
say no. I still say yes, but with
that means no.
the way. Not a fun thing for you, but you definitely learn
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Pay attention at your intonation. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
Okay, that's also good. A good tip. Talking
Mm.
about tips. If somebody, and especially the young generation, so the young people that are listening to us and they are willing to move abroad for an experience, no matter where, but just like
Mhm.
having the possibility to go and experience another country, what will be your tip for them? What will you say to them?
Well, I'd say don't underestimate the importance of the local language. Okay, so make sure you know the local language. For example, if you're moving to Holland, okay, to the Netherlands, yeah, then you should know the local language. But to Germany as well, same thing. In Ireland, that's a given because like the only language that is commonly spoken is English, okay? Even though Irish is an official language as well, but that's kind of a niche language. Only a few people are fluent in Irish, but everybody's fluent in English.
Yes.
So I say, well, if they're watching this video in English, I kind of, take for granted that they're fluent in English, but don't underestimate the importance of studying the local language as well, because I think it is fundamental to progress your career eventually, okay? Like to find good jobs, to get kind of, integrated in the local society. So that's for sure.
Yeah.
And also to make sure you know a bit about the job market in the country where you're willing to move. For example, in Ireland, there is barely an industrial sector. Okay,
Mhm.
almost nothing is made in Ireland except for food. Okay, everything is imported from different countries. For example, if you are a factory worker, if you are an industrial engineer, there might not be a lot of work for you here. You better look for like other countries like Germany, France, the
Mhm.
UK. So
Yeah.
make sure you know the job situation and the economy of the country. And
Yeah.
I'd say the most important thing, this is really paramount, I think, you should go to visit that country a few times before you move there. Because not every country is okay for everybody. So some people might not like the weather. Some people might not
Mhm.
like the food. Some people might not like the place for, I don't know, for some reason. So it's
Yeah.
always better to go there 2 or 3 times. I'd say the first time a few days, and then if you like it a bit longer, and then the third time for like 2 or 3 weeks, just to make sure you like the local culture, you like the place, you like the people, you like the language, you like the food. And then
Yeah.
after that, maybe you can consider a longer stay.
Yeah, I like that. I like everything that you say, and I agree. Language is very important um, because it makes you have the best experience and have the possibility to have a good job, etc., etc. So basically, it's a loop. No, if you start with one, then you go around. But if you don't get it started, then the problem is gonna come later for the next step. And I like the fact that you also name the Netherlands because it is true in this country, it is possible to live with English, but not every job requires only English or English at all. And there are many, many other aspects of life, social life, also working life related to the language. Um, Payments, policies, bureaucracy. There are local languages for a reason,
Mm,
and all this kind of info are given in the local language, not in English. Amsterdam aside, this
yeah.
is what I always say and underline. And I like also the fact that you say get informed about what is the economic situation and the job market. Too many people move abroad thinking that they will find wonderland, or because, but my friend came and he is doing this job, is doing great. Yeah, but you're doing something else. So it doesn't mean that the good experience of somebody is the good experience for you too. And there is why we are also trying to help as expat consultant, right, to help them understand what are the limitation and the opportunity of the country.
Mhm.
Good.
Definitely.
Yes, and last but not least, Domenico, I'm very curious to know, how did moving abroad change you, if it did?
Yeah, it did for sure. So, well, for sure now I'm more aware of other cultures. And I like to think that I'm more open-minded as well. Because, well, Ireland is it is really a place where there are many different cultures, many different ethnic groups, languages, especially Dublin. Dublin is literally a melting pot of people and
Mm.
cultures, languages. So it's nice to be here because you get to know a lot about different people. And also I became multilingual because now I can speak English, and also I learned Portuguese because my partner is Brazilian.
Oh,
So that was a really nice thing. I had the opportunity to learn a foreign language in Ireland because of, the number of Brazilian nationals that live here. In Dublin, especially, there are loads of Brazilian nationals here.
oh, okay.
And
Interesting. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah. So people they are a bit surprised when I tell them that I learned Portuguese in Ireland, but it's true. Like I learned Portuguese here because I have so many opportunities to practice Portuguese, So it is nice, and it is true for many other languages. Like if you want to learn Spanish, here there are so many South American Spanish people, so
Mhm.
you have the opportunity to practice. There are many language exchanges, so they're kind of
Mm.
events where you speak your own language, for example, Italian, for a minute or two, and people will speak the languages with you, like English, German, whatever, like for a minute or
Yeah,
two. And that
yeah,
will
this
make you
language
practice.
exchange
Yeah, exactly.
meetings are
That's
very
really
nice. Yes.
interesting. And there are many events like this one in Dublin, yeah, on Meetup and other apps. So yes, I like it because it is. I think I got exposed to these cultures. I improved my language skills, and also many soft skills in work. I grew professionally as well, which is very nice.
Yes, yes. So it did change you and probably make you have an open mind, or a bit more open than before. At least this is what I experienced myself. It definitely changed my perspective about the world the moment I moved abroad and realized, wow, there are so many differences, but also we are extremely similar. And that opened the world for me completely.
Yeah.
Good. Domenico, let's repeat again where people can find you. And again, I'm going to leave all the details in the description of the video,
Mhm.
but please
Mhm.
share with us how to contact you.
Sure. So they can contact me on Instagram if they like. So my Instagram is Trasferirsi in Irlanda. And also I have a YouTube channel with the same name. Okay, so that's easy enough to remember, Trasferirsi in Irlanda. And I also have a Facebook group called Trasferirsi in Irlanda. So it's the same thing. Or
It's
my
easy.
email is trasferirsiinirlanda@gmail.com. So same thing again. So there you
Okay.
go.
Yes. So basically, people Google trasferirsi in Irlanda, you will
That's
find
it.
Domenico in a way or in another.
Exactly, yes.
That's great. Domenico, it was very, very nice to having you in this interview. And well, we keep in touch. Thank you so much, and have a good day or evening, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Rosella. Bye bye.